Hey, Ted from Mob Rules here. Just jogging up to the store to pick up my. Uh, so don't ever go running. Don't ever go running. It's bad for your health. But to cheer me up, I was hit with a box. A pretty sweet box. Do you know what it is? This is what it is. It's the kind of thing with silver writing. Silver. See, it's expensive. It has silver. It's like platinum. I'm looking at a viewfinder that's right over there. So I'm really jazzed about this. I wasn't initially, but now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I don't do Ultramarines, and I don't do Eldar, so I kind of missed the last one. But I'm thinking that maybe I can make this guy into an Iron Handsy construct. So I'm thinking maybe I can mod the tar out of him, or maybe just do some like straight up heresy and make it an orc Primarch. I think it'd be pretty badass. So let's hop into this thing with our eyeballs and take a look. Hop. There we go. The Primarch. All right. So let's go ahead and do the thing where we take it apart. The unboxing. Oh yeah, it's got one of those little tabby things. Tabby things. Shit, I'm just ruining the box. All right, how do we get this thing apart? There we go. Slide out the sleeve so it stays protected. Now I already broke the box. Poop shoot. All right. So we have more of the coggy bit. I forgot what was on the other one. I mean, we did have the cog. I can't remember if it was the same artwork or not. So if you have all these boxes, let me know. Although I'll know here in a few minutes when I'll take a look at the other box that I have over there. Here we are. Oh. Ow. Got stabbed by a masitic spore. Here we go. Here's some artworks. Hello, artworks. Oh, there's Roboute. You see the Roboute and the Cypher? And what's his name? The guy who nobody cares about. But he is pretty cool. From what I understand, he's a Grey Knight with level 3 mastery of stuff. And he can get up to 5 psychic powers so long as they're all sanctic. 5 plus the Primus, maybe? I don't remember. Anyway, he's a total badass. And he has a demon hammer that strikes at initiative. So he's going to be pretty hot. Kind of a sleeper. But Cypher, on the other hand, I can't remember. He has like some weird victory condition things to where he's not. I don't know. It's hard to kill him. And Roboute is just solid. But I'm thinking he's a monstrous creature that with really solid abilities, but that's about it. You can't stick him in a vehicle. You can't transport him. He's just going to be like walking across the field at 6 inches a turn. So not that scary if you're Wind Riders or something. It can outmaneuver a 6-inch movement. Instructions? Oh, gosh. They have half a page just on constructing the guy's leg. Anyway, let's not take a look at that. But I think, from what I understand, there's some rules in the back here. Yeah, there we go. So we do have some rules. Let's see. I don't know. Okay, so there's Voldus's rules, the Cypher's rules. So you probably can get away without buying the books. You could probably get away with just buying this and then having the complete whatchamajig. So that's pretty cool. Ooh. It's a whole lot of package for not a lot of sprue. But that's alright. So this looks like it's a lot smaller than the first triumvirate. But I think Call was ginormous, and so were the Celestines. So anything after that's just tiny. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on in here. I mean, yeah, you have a Dreadnought size base, a Terminator size base, and a Marine size base. So yeah, these are not ginormous kits. It's a whole lot of air. It's like Doritos, a bag of Doritos, where 2/3 of it is full of air. But anyway, let's take a look at Roboute Lator. Let's take a look at Voldus. This is the one that everybody's going to want. Not really, I'm just kidding. Yeah, what's going on here? So, we have more of this. When did we see that? It was the Chaos Space Marines with, what was it? Dark Vengeance, when they really started to chop it up and make it like a 3D puzzle. But it's pretty dope. I mean, it's going to be really easy for them to hide the seams. It looks as though, let's see, one of the cool things I'm noticing, all right, you're going to have this like this arm here with the, let's see, with the Stormbolter. We have just the hand with the flangey bits. There's part of the arm right there. So this is going to, like, the handle slide on there. One of the cool things is with that is that I bet you that's a Terminator shoulder pad typically. I mean, obviously it is, but I bet you could probably stick like a different Terminator shoulder pad on there. Yeah, so it'd probably be pretty easy to do an arm swap and give him different weapons if you want to mod him up. It's looking like the neck is there's like a, I don't know, it's hard. Let's see if we can get zoomed in there any further. There is like a little square bit, so it probably slots in perfectly. So that's unfortunate, but that's not terrible. I mean, you can still mod with that, play with that a little bit. Yeah. Oh man, a demon hammer. It's gonna be awesome. That'd be okay. It has the Inquisition logo on there. Otherwise, that would be a dope thunder hammer for your champion or whatever. Because I think he looks a little bit different from what I recall. I think the top part here, that little iron halo-y bit, is slightly different than a lot of these guys. So not a ton of customization. The body box, I love that. But I think like your left hand is going to be where your customization is going to come in. And maybe you could turn him into an Inquisitor or, I don't know, something. So, I don't know. That's pretty dope. I'll play with it. I don't have a Grey Knight army, although maybe I'll sub him in. I think like you could bring a lot of these guys into your other whatever armies. So in this case, like Grey Knights, I don't have to have them as Grey Knights. I think I could sub them into my Mechanicum or Iron Hands or whatever. So that'd be pretty sweet. All right, Cypher. Oh, man. For the longest time, that model was dated. It was dope when it came out, but and there are some aesthetic changes. His cloak is bigger and more tattered. I think he just had a cape before. No, he had like a hood, right? So one of the things that I was really looking forward to was his chest, because there was that iconic symbol of the crucified skeleton on there, and it was in that second edition era where they just kind of made a regular Marine, then tacked stuff on, and everything was like big and bulbous. I just put together a whole bunch of old Legion of the Damned, and so there was like tons of that like bulbous bones. Like, it's really taking up real estate if you had to worry about mobility. But this is really cool. They kind of streamlined it. They brought it in there. It's kind of flush with his body a little bit. So that's really cool. And he kept a lot of his Dark Angel symbols all over him. So I think he's sporting the wear. He believes that he is still doing Leo's work. Oh man, that plasma pistol. Oh, that thing is looking sick. It looks like something out of Fallout. Like is it the plasma pistols in the Fallout? But yeah, it totally looks like something like that. I like that his head is a little bit smaller, like his face. It's not a ginormous head, like the old heads, or like from the original 3rd edition stuff. Like a lot of the heads were so big; they were as big as the helmets. You had no idea how the helmet would fit on. Oh, and here's another one. That sword. Now, what's the deal with that thing? Is that Leo's sword? But yeah, it's huge, and then apparently it wraps around and connects here, so the thing is massive. That's a sort of a Primarch for sure. So that thing is ill. All right, here we have his pistol, another one of his pistols. It kind of looks like a grav pistol in a way, or at least it has like the shielding off of it. So everything is, but that's kind of cool. Like they're really, they don't have the STCs. They don't have the ability to manufacture their own shit. So, I mean, they're having to scrap things together. I mean, this is as Mad Max a Space Marine chapter as you get. Like they're just having to make do. I mean, it kind of has like a chaos feel to it, but they're just pumping out work technology to make life happen for these guys. So this is a sweet kit. I'm really happy with it. I love all the little symbols that are really inlaid in there. You know, it's not like overt. It's not bulbous. It's just it's really subtle. It makes me think of, I mean, it could actually be a functional piece of armor, whereas a lot of the older ones with like the big chunky skulls, you know, the skulls are gonna get in the way of killing things. All right, let's start with this guy. All right, let's snap, snap. So here we go. We have a ginormous dioramic base. So you have the Aquila head that fits in there. You have a Chaos Space Marine. Oh, dude, there's no way you're using this for. Well, I guess you could. You could use it for the latter part of the heresy. But yeah, there's that is definitely an uber corrupted Chaos Marine. Um, yeah. So there's this bolter. This thing is nuts. I think it's like strength 6, AP 4, heavy 3, 24-inch rending. I mean, it's basically like an assault cannon. So yeah, I mean, once again, like he's walking around 6 inches, firing a 24-inch gun. You can outrange him easily. But look at all these little dibbly bits. I don't know what they do. If they just attach to the gun or what. Oh, this thing looks tight. See, I'm doing Legion of the Damned. A bunch of Legion of the Damned guys. So it'd be really cool to just just swipe those. But yeah, all the little details. I love it. Like the last model, I hate to say it, like I was putting together the was a Gathering Storm box 1, and all of Call's little mechadendrites kept snapping and falling off. So I'm glad none of them have snapped and fallen off yet. GW's getting a little bit more fiddly with their things. The detail is amazing, but unfortunately the durability isn't there yet. But it's, I don't know, it's cool. You just got to be careful. All right. So what are we on to? Oh, heads, guys, heads. This is cool. You know, one of the neat things, like the head is actually regular ass Marine size. Like that is not a ginormous head. I wish I had a Space Marine laying around. Okay, oh, I do. Okay, here we go. All right, here we have. Okay, now this is a modded helmet. I did change that up a little bit, but no, it's looking like that head. I mean, it's a little bit long. Like the head is a little bit longer. It's hard to see here, but you can kind of see like the back of it is a little bit longer than normal. It kind of has like a Tau kind of look to it, but it's almost smaller than a Space Marine head. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I mean, if you want to, you can give one of your guys a Primarch head, or that helmet. That helmet is nuts. I mean, it really just kind of looks like the what is it? The helmet off of a Centurion. So it's kind of going old school a little bit. Or maybe Call built the Centurions. I'm not sure. Because Call apparently built his armor. So here is the laurel for his flesh head. And there's a laurel for his... Sorry about that. I think ran out of time. So anyway, yeah, it'd be cool to get those to where like the heads would swap in and out. Oh my gosh. Look at that backpack. That thing is a beast. It almost looks like the power pack off the Baneblade. He has to carry around a Baneblade power source. Then I think this is probably abdomen stuff. Gosh, look at all his ports. That thing is bananas. So he's like, he can hook up. Hook up. So anyway, there's a lot of really neat details. I think it's a bit excessive. Personally, I feel that a lot of his details are excessive. I mean, it is Artificer armor, basically. Artificer armor times 100. But it's, I don't know, something about it. It just feels like, it feels excessive. Just the swirly patterns and everything else. I think they just really had fun with the AutoCAD. But, I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? It makes sense for Artificer armor. Like, that's what Artificer armor should look like. So, yeah. And this is, I think, why I kind of want to make this into And Iron Hands monstrous creature has those legs. All I have to do is put some hydraulic rams on him, and it's good to go. Yeah, it's like a big clopper feet. But no, the plates should slap on there, and it'll represent Space Marine armor. It's nuts, like all the details, dude. Like look at all that, like the starburst on the side of the leg. Here's all the ports. Maybe he's like R2-D2. He could just hack into the Death Star. And then just multiple pieces for the thigh plate. It's crazy. And I do love to see like all the servos underneath the armor. I mean, you can see the artistry. The Emperor's Sword. I saw a great tutorial. If you get a chance, Duncan off of Warhammer TV's sword, it looks phenomenal. A lot of like his paintings are typically pretty good, but his how-tos are a little dumbed down for the average guy, but the tutorial for this was pretty solid. And man, look at that shoulder plate. That thing is huge. Yeah, it's bigger than his head. I mean, I guess like Space Marines are, but dang, that thing is huge. You can hide a person in there. There's that open hand. I can't remember what that glove was called. The glove of damnation or judgment or something like that. But yeah, bro, this is sweet. There's a lot going on here. So I'm excited. I kind of feel bad that I'm going to chop this baby up and make it some Iron Hands or some Orcs. But it's pretty solid, man. There's a lot going on. Even though it doesn't, it doesn't fill up the crate like the previous one did, or the first one did. It's still, God, there's a lot going on here. I bet this kit is going to be just a blast to put together for those that actually put it together. But yeah, man, guys, check it out. If you're not a Space Marine player, that's okay. I don't know. I really got nothing for you. Sorry if you're not a Space Marine player or a Chaos player or Grey Knights player. But if you do power armor of any sort, I think this would be pretty badass to chop up and do something with. Otherwise, yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, yeah, next week I think we're going to try something a little bit different, something along the taco variety. And if that's, hopefully that catches your interest. We don't usually unbox tacos, let alone what we're going to unbox next time. So keep an eye to the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Also, swing on by to the podcast. That's our bread and butter, except we don't get paid for it, so it's not our bread and butter. It's just what we do. But I don't know, some other cliche that's not bread and butter for that one. Otherwise, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Catch you next week. Whoa! That was a good one.